EDMS, where we try to make engineering, graphic and design as simple as possible. In today's lesson, we will be doing geometrical construction in the HSE Grade 10 Workbook, page 4-18. We're going to start by reading the task or the question. The question is as follows. Copy the given figure, which is this. Show all constructions and pay special attention to tangent arcs and lines. Now, if we look at the given, we can see that we have 2 hexagons, 2 triangles, 1 square, and some tangent arcs. I'm going to start by focusing on these 2 triangles. If triangles are of a regular shape, meaning all the sides are equal in length, then we know that we can draw that triangle with a 60 degree. It is clear that the triangle's point is touching the arc of the circle where the middle point and the circle meet, which is over there. I'm going to take my 60 degrees, set it to that point. Make sure that your 60 degree triangle is flush and flat against your T-square. Lock your T-square to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. From the top there, draw a solid line all the way until you get to the arc of the circle. We are going to draw the opposite orientation from the top there. But now 60 degrees in this direction all the way until you get to the circle. There where they meet, we're just going to draw a horizontal line across. And if you've drawn accurately, those 2 points should line up. We're going to do the exact same method down here. So from that point, where the point is touching the circle and the middle point, you can double check yourself here as well. You can see that that is at 60 degrees. And that line also runs at 60 degrees. I'm going to start from that point, draw a solid line all the way up until you get to the circle. The same on this side, all the way up until you get to the circle. Where it touches the circle, you're going to close it at the top. And if you've drawn accurately, those 2 points should line up. We can also see that both of these circles are solid circles. So I'm going to do that. You put your sharp point of your compass in the middle. Take the lead to that edge of the circle. And now we're just going to darken that circle. We're basically making that circle's ours. Happy with that. The same down here. Sharp point in the middle. Take the lead to the edge of the circle. And make it a solid circle. Now I'm going to put my focus on the hexagon. Looking at the information, we can see that the points of the hexagon is touching or connecting to that center point on the circle and that center point on the circle. We can double check, but we know that a hexagon is drawn either at 60 degrees or 30 degrees. Looking at this one, we can see that from that point, it is a 60 degree line. This is a cheat code, a tip that you can always double check your stuff before you draw on the given. So you can see from there, it's a 60 degree line until you get to the circle. So from that point, a 60 degree line till you get to the circle. 60 degrees, and then also from there 60 degrees from the center point, 60 degrees until you get to the circle. It's going to be the same on this side. 60 degrees, there you can see 60 degrees and 60 degrees. So from this point we're going to go up all the way 60 degrees until you get to the circle. From that point all the way down until you get to the edge of the circle at 60 degrees. I'm going to flip my 60-degree triangle over and draw 60 degrees in that direction and 60 degrees in this direction. If you've drawn accurately, those two should line up. We're going to close it from there to there with a horizontal line, and at the top from there to there. Looking at the information, it is also clear that that circle over there is a solid circle. So I'm going to make that a dark circle. Happy with that. Now we are going to do this hexagon. This hexagon is rotated so that the point is pivoting on this end. You can see that the point is touching this part of the center line now. But I want to show you a different way of constructing this. Because the points is connecting on that point and that point, what you will do is you're going to take your compass. You are going to set it to that radius. Then what you do is you take your sharp point, you put it down here. You make a mark on the circle on the right, as well as on the left, on the right, and on the left, and you do the same at the top, on the left, and on the right. Let me show you again. Because the points are touching the circle there and there, where the middle point connects to the circle on those 2 points, you take your compass, you get the radius, which is half of this diameter. You're going to put your sharp point where the points will be, which is there, and you take this radius and you mark it off on the circle on the left and on the right, and on the left and on the right. And then what you can do is just use a ruler or a set square and connect from that point to the points you've made, from the one to the next. Connect, connect as solid lines. When you make these marks, they should be light in construction so they don't interfere with your final product. Now, once again, looking at the information here, it is clear that that circle is a solid circle. I'm going to put my sharp point over there, take the lead to the circle, and draw in that circle as a solid circle. Now we move our focus to the square. The square is rotated in a diamond-shaped form. So what I will do is, light in construction, draw a vertical line through the middle point till you get to the edges of the circle, and draw a horizontal line through the middle point until you get to the edges of the circle. Light in construction. A square rotated like a diamond shape, those sides will now be at 45 degrees if it is a regular size square, meaning all the sides have the same length. Now, I have made those contact points on the circle, and I've made those contact points on the circle through the middle point. So I'm just going to connect them using a 45 degrees. I can check here, 45 degrees, 45 degrees. So from that point to that point, we connect 45 degrees. From that point to that point, connect with 45 degrees. Rotate your 45 degrees. Connect over here at 45 degrees and connect over here at 45 degrees. If we look at the information, it is clear once again that that circle is a solid circle. So you're going to take your compass, put your sharp point in the middle, take the lead to the edge, and make that a solid circle. Now let's complete the tangent lines. There's one at the top, one at the side, and this one over here. These tangent lines are basically just touching the arcs of the circle. So what you'll do is you're going to play with a ruler or a T-square, and you're going to set this up until you get to the arcs of the circle. So we are going to connect them from there to there. If you have continued with that line should not pass or go through the circle. It is basically just skimming that edge and skimming that edge. We're going to do the same here with this vertical one. From there to there. And then this one is from this edge of the circle to this edge. So we are going to play here until we get the desired line. That looks fine. So from that edge to there, we draw a tangent line. Looking at this arc, we can identify that that arc is an included tangent arc. We need to include. Why is it included? Because if I continue with this arc, you can see that those two circles are included, meaning on the inside of that arc. So when it's included, we need to minus. So you're going to take the 110 radius. If we are working with the radiuses, you're going to say R110 minus, it is included, the arc is touching this circle, and that circle has a diameter of 46. Half of 46, the radius would be then 23. So 110 minus 23 is going to give us 110 minus 23 gives you 87. So I'm going to construct an arc of 87 millimeters from this middle point. Let's do that quickly. 87, I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to set this on 87. There's 85, 86, 87. You put your sharp point in this middle point over here. Draw a light construction arc on this side because we need to get that arc at the end of the day on that side. So I'm constructing the arc on this side, light in construction. So we did that calculation, 87. Now we're going to do this one. That is also radius 23. Those two circles are the exact same size, so it's still the same. You can write it out. It's nice to show evidence. 110 minus 23 is going to give you 87 millimeters. So from that point also you put the sharp point of the compass in that center point. Construct an arc, and that is your point for that tangent arc. The tangent arc has a radius of 110. Now you're going to take your compass and you're going to set this on 110 millimeters. So there's mine. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, 100, 110. Put your sharp point on that point you've constructed or calculated. And now you notice that that arc, look how cool this is. Beautiful. From there all the way to there, we can connect those two circles with a included arc. So from there, nice and solid, to that one, included arc. Beautiful. When you go past those two circles, that arc should not go in the circle. Never. If it goes into the circle, you know you made a mistake and you need to recalibrate, recalculate, and redo. Double check your stuff before you make that solid arc. Now this is an interesting one. If we look at this arc, that circle is included and this circle is not included. So this one is excluded, but this one is included. How do I know this? Because if I continue with this arc, you can see that this circle is in the inside of the arc, it's included, and this one is excluded. Excluded is plus. So we're going to take that radius plus this one's radius, and we are going to take this radius minus this radius, because this one is included and that one is excluded. The radius that I want you to draw is a radius 60. So R60 minus R23, we are going to get 60 minus 23, we got 37. So take your compass, set this on 37. Thirty-five, 6, 7. Put your sharp point in this middle point, because this is the one we've calculated. Draw a light arc over there, which is 37 millimeters. Now we're going to do this one's calculation. It is R60 plus, what is this circle's radius? Why this circle? Because the tangent arc is touching that circle. They gave us the diameter of 34. 34 divided by 2 is going to be 17. Yes. So 17 added to the 60, we are going to get 77. 60 plus 70 is 77. So take your compass, set this on 77. $75, 6, 7. Put your sharp point over there and construct a arc of 77. Put your sharp point in this middle point because it's this circle, 77 millimeters. I'm just going to extend that arc a bit. This one was 37. Where those two meet, that is your point. And from that point, we can now draw this tangent arc of 60 millimeters. Take your compass, put it on 60 millimeters. Put your sharp point in that point you've calculated. And now you can close that arc from there to there. Before you draw that arc, double check first to see if that arc does come out to those two circles. If not, you need to double check your calculations and your construction work. Let's check. Triangle done with the circle, hexagon done with the circle, square done with the circle, triangle done with the circle, hexagon done with the circle. Tangent arc, tangent arc, tangent line, and tangent line. That is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss a lesson. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.